no one's going to get Social Security. Well,
Yep.
that's not the case. What they're saying is in 20 years or so, they're going to have to cut it. And one of the figures they're saying is they're going to cut it 25%. So you'll be getting 25% less money, but you won't be sort of cut off entirely unless they can fund it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard because, with the baby boomers that after the Second World War, there was a giant population boom, and those people are getting older and retiring, and they're living longer.
Yep.
And there's less population that are paying into the Social Security to fund those people. So that's sort of the problem.
Yeah, and wasn't the contribution just cut recently within the last few years? I think one of the tax cuts that we all got,
we're paying less into it.
It came directly from Social Security. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. I can't speak on that. As someone who's going to be retired in the next 7 or 8 years, I worry about that. I certainly don't want a 25% cut. And you wonder what's going to happen with my, daughter who's in college and going to be entering the workforce, in the next few years.
Yeah, sure.
What her situation will be in the future. I think to cut all those people off, they can't do it. They're going to have to gradually maybe go over to like a 401k thing where you contribute a certain amount into mutual funds or whatever, and a little bit into a more secure, guaranteed pension to ease that burden. But to cut them off, is going to be, difficult. You would have
it would be difficult.
Rioting in the street.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be a gradual change there, because people are living longer. And the other thing they might do is, of course, raise your age when you can collect it to 70 or whatever.
Yeah, and I've heard that discussed a lot, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Maybe not. I don't want to really be working at 70, but there's
No.
lots of people that do, and they work into their 80s. So, but I don't think that's a big chunk of the people that are
probably not. I mean,
retirement age.
The big point is that Social Security really never should have been a public service to begin with, or a public program.
Well, I think it's helped a lot of people. It's
never been run efficiently.
Well, that
or
might be
as well
true.
as the private industry could run it.
And remember, it was based on a 60-year lifespan.
Right. Yeah.
So they were hoping that most of the people would be dead before they would collect it, and modern science and medicine has improved. Well, that's not the case. But you're a young guy, so you're in your mid-20s or so, and what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing for the minimum collection age to go up, retirement age to be raised. Ideally, Social Security would be slowly privatized, and I think if that happened, it could be run efficiently and
maybe.
Well, and
maybe, but that's what the 401k thing is too.
Either way, yeah.
That would be private financial companies would be managing money and making it, but that's a risk too, because if it crashes, you can lose.
Well, 401ks aren't doing well.
Yeah,
so,
50% of your value can happen overnight or worse. We've seen that happen. So, what do you do then when you're retired and all of a sudden, your potential income is cut in half? That's a scary thing. But see, now you realize that problem, and hopefully you've got a 401k where you work, and you can try to put as much money into it as you can.
Well, we could do a financial show on whether investing in a 401k right now is a good idea.
Well, something. Some investment thing.
And that's the other big problem with Social Security is that you're forced to participate.
Right. Well, that's like the healthcare. The reason they force everybody to do it is everybody chips in and everybody pays a little less and everybody gets help.
Except it obviously doesn't work that way.
No, it's not going to work that way, and
No.
Social Security doesn't work that way.
Right.
But I think it's hard to have it voluntary because nobody would do it.
Mm-hmm, but if it's not voluntary, you have socialism, which never works.
Yes.
So, and that's where we're at with Social Security, with healthcare. And, I guess we'll see in the next few months how the healthcare is gonna wrap up.
Yeah, they're still playing with that.
Yeah.
There's still legal battles going on with it.
Yeah, definitely.
How about, what do you think Romney has to do to win this?
Oh, boy. I think what he should do is get out there, speak the truth.
Oh God.
Yeah,
no politician
well,
can
you
do
know
that.
What? And he's one that I think can actually, believe it or not. I mean,
Well, what is the truth
I think he's
anymore?
shown. Well, sure, but I think he's shown he has very strong moral character.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I've never met him, so
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can argue either way, but
Yeah.
I think he does need to go out there, teach conservative to people who don't understand it, the middle of the road people people like you, who just don't buy into logic and reasoning and things like that.
Oh my God, that's
No,
nasty.
he needs
Where's
to,
my gunshot
yeah,
sound effect
yeah,
here?
yeah.
I'll put
He
you
needs
down.
to explain that to
Simple people like me.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And I don't think he needs to pull any punches. There's a debate coming up. I think it's next week, the first presidential debate, and I'm really looking for him to
Shine.
to hit Obama, constantly and not pull any punches and give the facts, counter everything Obama says, because everything that comes out of his mouth is going to be a lie.
He's trying to do that, and Obama's trying to do that to Romney and stuff. How about having a damn platform? How about having some proposals put out there? It seems neither side does that anymore. I can remember when politicians had a platform and they had, this is their views on the environment. This is their views on foreign affairs. This is a view on, whatever. And they would actually, list a few things and had some plans, and this is how they would, spark the economy, and, what they would do with taxes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think both candidates have something that looks like that on their websites, but there's not a lot of detail involved.
A lot of rhetoric.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying. Romney needs to avoid. But he has come out with some ideas. I mean, everybody keeps saying that Romney hasn't put out a tax plan, but Obama keeps attacking Romney on his tax plan. So I don't know how that works. But
all right, the polls are fairly close, depending on which polls you look at. Right. So it might go either way. Now, that university, I can't remember the university that does the poll, and they've been right for the last 25 or 30 years or whatever. Yeah. They have Romney winning. And they haven't been wrong since they started doing these polls, and they keep saying they're getting better and better with their analytical,
let's hope.
They're analyzing their data. But the thing is, what does Romney have to do to win? Who does he have to convince, and how can he convince them to vote for Romney?
Romney?
Yeah.
I think, like I said, if he comes out
and tells the truth. But listen,
explain.
Nobody believes politicians.
Yeah. Well. So I mean, what do you think he needs to say then?
I don't know, but he certainly needs to hit that moderate and convince them that he's the better choice over Obama, and he needs to really start courting those people that voted for Obama last time that are on the fence, and those people are out there. I've heard them in the interviews. They say, I really voted for Obama because, it was hope and change, and he was the first black guy, and we thought things were going to be great. But you know what? Really, it's gotten a little worse, and I don't know if I'm going to vote for him again. Those are the ones he needs to court. And I unfortunately also hear some of the same people saying the same thing and going, but I'm going to vote for Obama again anyways.
Yeah,
even though I don't like him and I'm not happy with what he did. Because they don't like Romney for whatever reason. Now Romney comes off a little cool, a little aloof, a little out of touch with the middle class. He needs to change that, and maybe like you said, maybe he is down to earth and a nice guy, and this guy you could have a nice beer with, although he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
But he doesn't come across that way. And so he needs to change that a little bit. So he needs to get those 5 to 10%, like you discussed earlier, and needs to start courting them, because he's already got conservative Republicans.
Well, some of them. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, well, they kind of turned on him a little bit. I mean, I think that was a big mistake. If your own party can't support you, I mean, what the hell is that?
Yeah, well, we have the same issue with the Ron Paul people. The strict libertarians that they don't.
Oh, they're not going to vote for Romney because.
Yeah, but I don't know. The alternative is another 4 years of Obama. And
right.
I'm still not convinced that the country could survive as it is with him. in there another 4 years.
Yeah, I'm not an Obama supporter. I'm not going to vote for Obama.
Right, yeah, sure. But I think if Romney explains, how he would run a small government, in contrast with what Obama's done in the last 4 years, I think that will reach the 5-10% in the middle. I'm not a big fan of pandering to anybody in the middle because
really?
I think
even though those are the people that can win you the election.
Yeah, I don't buy into that as much as some people do. But
I think it's very important.
I think the country has probably always been middle to the right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think conservatism does speak to enough people to win an election.
I don't know. Okay, what does Obama have to do to win? You don't want to give him any tips, do you?
No, I don't want to give him any tips because I don't think he's quite smart enough to figure it out himself.
Oh boy.
Well, he's been playing to the middle class, poor, to lately, and anti-wealth is what he's been doing, and it kind of worked for him last time.
I don't think he has to do much at all. He just doesn't have to F up.
Yeah, well...
I mean, he just doesn't have to.
It's almost impossible for him to mess up enough to affect him. With the way the media treats him.
I know, that's true. But something could happen. I mean, there could be some kind of, catastrophe.
Joe Biden goes out there and talks again or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think he's sitting in the catbird seat. I don't know that he has to do much on that. What I don't like, changing the subject slightly, is this early voting.
Yeah.
I hate that. Why would you do that?
Iowa, I think.
There's several states that are going to start doing that.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Let's say you voted for Obama, and then you find out that he's a pedophile, alcoholic, drug dealer from wherever. Botswana or whatever.
Sure, but what
and so you say, ooh, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have voted for him. But you've already cast your vote.
Yeah, so, I mean, what if you find that out in December? Is there much of a difference there?
Well, I think you should wait until November 3rd and see what happens.
And I probably would.
But they're not doing that. And so what I'm saying is a lot of people are going to vote for people that, something happens in those 2 or 3 months that might change your mind. Yeah. It's too late. You've cast your ballot.
Sure.
Maybe Romney goes out and saves the world in, some kind of super Mormon miracle.
Oh boy, yeah. Sure.
I have to throw religion.
Yeah, I know what you do. You always throw religion in. I know what you're saying.
So and everybody goes, I would have voted for Romney because he did this miracle. I mean, I think early votes are bad.
Yeah.
What advantage is it? I mean, why are they doing it? I don't understand that. I guess
I can't really disagree with you on that. I guess so.
I think there's an advantage to the incumbent when they have early votes.
Oh yeah, for sure, sure.
And maybe that's why they're pushing it
before any of the debates, and that's and I think that's the big thing.
Why do that? Listen, the damn election day, is first Tuesday in November. It's been that way. Come on, other than absentee ballots and stuff like that, and seniors, I understand that. Yep. They're going to vote, but that's generally a smaller percentage. But when you have entire states voting and can vote early, that changes the landscape, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I do think it has a lot to do with the debates and things like that. So.
Well, we hope you like the show. We're running close to our half an hour. We're going to try to do a half an hour if things go good and we have more to talk about. We'll go longer, but since our first show, I thought we'd just do 30 minutes.
Yep.
Nate, what do you think?
Sounds good. I think it went fairly well. Hopefully it was somewhat informative for you.
Stimulating, enjoyable. Either agree or disagree. I'm sure you agreed with me more than Nate.
I doubt it. Like I said, the country is middle of the road to the right.
And we hope that you are a better and stronger person.
Yes, we do.
That women will weep and men will pat you on the back after listening to the show. If you like the show, check us out. Keep looking for more podcasts. Tell your friends about it. Listen in. We're probably going to do some live shows and maybe have a phone call in
set
from
up
time
a phone
to time.
line so you can call in with comments, questions.
You can also make comments on the page there. We'd love to hear back from you and tell us what you think, what we can do better, and what you liked.
Sure can. Once again, thank you for listening to At Odds.